Hello guys, Absolute Duelist here with Charmander in the background as always, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video. And in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, as you may be able to tell, I am giving you my updated hero deck profile. Now, I have not done one of these in a very long time for a couple of reasons. One, I have been testing so many different things with heroes to try so many different areas, builds, all of this stuff out that I really wasn't confident on what build I wanted to show you guys. Two, ban lists changed and changed ratios. Like, we got Fusion Destiny back to 3, it went to 2. Like, they've just changed so much. 3, we got new support for heroes, so I wanted to try that out and try that at different ratios. And finally, at the last locals of the year, I took it to locals and I came second with it, so I wanted to show you it on Christmas, which should be today. So guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you're watching this after, happy whatever day it is, I hope you're having a good one. And guys, this is my deck profile for heroes. I've been testing so much and trying so many different things with this deck, so I hope you do enjoy the deck profile and get some ideas for yourself. So let's go ahead and get into it. After showing you one thing, because I just want to give a shout out to Konami, they haven't sponsored me or anything, but thanks for these sleeves. Like, they didn't give me them or anything, but thank you for making these, because these are absolutely beautiful, and I'm so happy to have these to put on my hero deck, because just look at them. Miracle Fusion on the back of his sleeves. It looks really nice, and I just wanted to give a little thing for that because they are really nice sleeves. So yeah, but let's go ahead and get into the deck profile and show you what the deck is. So starting off, we play the 3 Stratos. This is pretty standard. He is the main starter. You summon him, you get any hero from the deck, and you go from there. Main one that you're going to be normally adding to your hand is Vision Hero Forest, so you can go into your full combos and end on some really powerful boards such as Sunrise, Absolute Zero, DPE, Dark Law, all of these things, just so you can go ahead and have a really powerful turn 1 board. And he's just really strong, and he's also got the niche little extra ability where if he's summoned as well, you can destroy spell and trap cards up to the number of other heroes on the board. So card is really good, card is really strong. He is a mandatory 3 of. Next we play 2 Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is a 2 of. You do not play more of him and you do not play less of him. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, you always want one in the deck, so playing 2 just guarantees that you will always have one in the deck. 2, 3 is way too many. You don't want to see him in your opening hand most of the time unless you have a Forest, because he doesn't do anything in your hand. All he does is when he sends to the graveyard, you add a hero, or when he special summons, you add a mask change. So you always want one in the deck to guarantee that you have a way to special summon him with something like Hero Lives, or you want the ability to send to the graveyard from the deck with something like Viome to get the ability to search any hero. You don't use him for anything else. You don't need him in your hand. He is a mandatory 2 of because you don't want to play more, but you also don't want to play less. So 2 is just the perfect number in my opinion, so we play 2 of him. And then the only other elemental hero we play is 1 elemental hero, Liquid Soldier. Pretty much, we only need 1 of him. He's your fusion material for Absolute Zero. When he's used as fusion material, he goes ahead and draws 2 and discards 1. And on summon, he goes ahead and summons a hero from the graveyard. So pretty much, he's the whole package. He gives you access to Dark Law. He gives you access into more draws. He gives you access into Absolute Zero. He is a very good card. He's a very strong card, but you don't need to play more than 1 of him because you can't use both of his effects on the same turn. So you only play the 1. But it's a very good card, very strong card. Definitely recommend it. And that's the only elemental heroes we play in the deck. Other things you could technically play is like Solid Soldier and Honest Neos, but the deck already has so many ways to either increase or decrease attack that Honest Neos isn't really necessary. And also, you don't really need something like Solid Soldier because majority of the time you're not going to open him and your normal summon will go towards Stratos already, so you don't necessarily need him. So I didn't really want to play him in the deck. I didn't really like it, so at this point I'm happy with this number of heroes. All you need is 6 elemental heroes and that's it. Going on to the next monsters though, the Destiny heroes, we're playing 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. This is pretty standard. Like, you banish 1 from the graveyard, summon another 1 from the deck. You play 2 of him. You can only play 2 of him. If we could play a 3rd, we definitely would, but hey, we only have 2 right now, so we play 2 of him. We also play 1 Destiny Hero Denier, which essentially makes Malicious as many times per game as you want. What Denier essentially does is, if you have a Destiny hero in the graveyard, once per duel, you can special summon him, and also when he's normal or special summoned, you can take one Destiny hero from your banished, graveyard, deck, anywhere, and place it on top of your deck. So essentially, what he does is, every time you summon him, you put your banished Mali back into the deck, that giving you the access to go ahead and banish the Mali that's in your graveyard to special summon the Mali you just put on top of your deck. So he's really strong. You do have to be careful how you use him at times, because you don't just want to go and shotgun his revive effect, because at times you want to be able to just special summon him back with Cross Crusader more, so you can guarantee that you have that effect for later in the game, just in case your board gets broken, and that way you can go ahead and use other sort of effects and make other boards or link monsters as well. So you only play one of him because his effect is only once per duel, but he is very strong, he's very good, and he generally just makes Mali as many times as you want per duel, which is just insane. And then the last Destiny hero we play is one Destiny hero Plasma. He's blanket skill drain, attribute free monsters, special summon him, and then just negate everything your opponent has on board. Like, he's a very good card. He basically says no monster effects whatsoever, and he can also go ahead and suck up bigger monsters onto himself to make himself bigger as well. So honestly, this deck has one-sided skill drain, one-sided macro, and can even play Dark Angel, which I don't play in the main. I don't like it in the main, but that is a one-sided Imperial Order as well, which I do side. So card is very nice, very strong, and yeah, that's all the Destiny heroes we actually play. Now, going on to Vision Heroes, we play free Vision Hero Faris. He is your starter as well. Just like Stratos, you want to be able to have this card in your opening hand to be able to discard a hero, special summon it from the hand, and then use his effect to place a Vision Hero into the Spell and Trap card zone. This card is a free summon. He goes ahead and gets to trigger your Malis by sending them to graveyard, or your Shadow Mist if you do open it, and he also goes ahead and just allows you to go full combo on his own, because he goes ahead and puts an increase into the Spell and Trap card zone, which allows you to go ahead and get the Vion and then go through a full combo into pretty much any hero board you want. And along with him, obviously, we play the one increase. This is something that I'm playing at this ratio purely because people have been telling me to do it for ages now whenever I upload a hero deck profile. So I've been testing it, and in all honesty, I'm still indifferent on it. I like him more at 2 just for the fact that if I do draw him, I can still use Forest to place it into the Spell and Trap card zone, but I don't like opening him in my hand because obviously that stops me from doing lots of combos. But the thing is, every time I've opened it while testing the deck, I've opened hands that can still go full combo without necessarily needing increase. So I'm still able to kill my opponent, I'm still able to play the game, and because of that, I've not really cared that the increase is in my opening hand. It does limit the Forest, which is kind of annoying, so I'm not too sure how I feel about it fully, but right now I am testing it at 1. It's not terrible, but I do prefer it at 2 just because it guarantees that you will have one in the deck. And yes, you could say the logic, oh, then you'll go ahead and draw both of them, but that's not really likely. Like, having one, you're not really going to draw it very often, but when you do, it's going to stop you from playing the game because he's your Garnet. But when you don't draw him, he's absolutely insane, but playing 2 guarantees that you always have one. So it's just one of those weird things that you just want to guarantee that you always have it. So I like him, but I don't know if I would keep playing him at 1. I'll still have to test more. I didn't really see him too much, but when I did, I was still able to play the game. So it really just comes down to preference at this point, guys. If you want to play 2, play 2. If you want to play 1, play 1. Right now, I'm playing 1, and it's not the end of the world. So yeah. But the last 2 Vision Heroes we're playing is 2 Vision Hero Vion. He is absolutely insane. Vion is the strongest hero in the entire deck right now for a lot of reasons. 1, you special summon him with the increase, so you're getting him for free all of the time. Like, he is free, it's great, and he's so very strong. 2, on his own, just normal summoning him, he is technically a full hero combo that can potentially OTK your opponent. You normal summon him, you send Shadow Mist to the graveyard, you search a Liquid Soldier, you go ahead and banish the Shadow Mist you just sent to the graveyard, search Polymerization, make Sunriser, Sunriser gets Miracle Fusion, Liquid Soldier draws you 2 cards and discards 1, and then you get to go ahead and use Miracle Fusion to make Absolute Zero. That is a full hero combo with just 1 card. So you're getting draws, you're getting summons, you get 2 searches. Like, the card is very, very strong on its own. And just the fact that this card says Search Polymerization, allowing you to go into all of your different hero plays, absolutely insane. So honestly, he is a mandatory 2-of. Now, I wouldn't say play him at 3 though, even though you can do all of that, because your normal summon, you still want to dedicate to Stratos, because it guarantees that you have more monsters on the board, guarantees you have more combo play, and guarantees you have the opposite attribute to be able to make the Sunriser. But you still want to play 2 of him because you always want 1 in the deck just so you can summon it off the increase. So you can go ahead and go into these combos. But if you do just open him, he is still a combo starter, he is still plays, and being able to search polymerization is his main function, but he's just so strong because of that, and he is just a really good card. You don't play 1 of him though, because if you do draw him, it just doesn't feel fun. So yeah, you play 2 of him. It's the same reason you play Shadow Mist. You would rather have him in the deck, but he is really strong in your opening hand as well, much more so than Shadow Mist, so you'd still want to play him in the deck more than 1. So we play 2 of him. It's very strong, very good card. So yeah, that's all of the actual hero monsters we're playing in the main deck. We don't play any others. We don't play the evil heroes. We don't play any of the boost heroes. I feel like this is the best ratio for all of the heroes in the deck. Like, I've been trying different ratios. I've been trying stuff like Celestial. I've been trying Honest Neos. I've been trying Adusted Gold. I just felt like they added more bricks to the deck, so it made the deck less consistent. And the thing is, I want heroes to be the most consistent deck because it is one of the most consistent decks in the game. It may not have a negate. It may not have any of these things that can easily just stop your opponent from playing the game outside of like the floodgate monsters, but it's still very strong, it's still very powerful, and we don't want to have more bricks in the deck, we want to have less. So that's what this kind of build is about. It's about having less bricks, so I'm very happy with how it's been playing and performing so far. So that's why we play only this ratio of monsters. So let's go ahead and go into the spells though now, so you can see what spell ratios we're playing, because there's a lot of consistency cards in the spells as well. So starting off, we play Free A Hero Lives. Honestly, one of the better hero cards in the game, and definitely had a reason for being limited at one point. Essentially what this card does is you can special summon any level 4 or lower elemental hero from your deck by paying half your life points and controlling no face-up monsters. So essentially, on its own, it is a full combo starter, being able to summon Stratos from the deck. Stratos can get Faris if you have a hero in hand, or can just get a Vion if you don't have a hero in hand, and just go into full combos from there. The card is very, very strong, and also has the added bonus of not just being able to summon Stratos, but being able to summon Shadow Mist. So you can just go ahead and summon Shadow Mist from the deck, and search Mask Change to allow you to go ahead and make Darklaw to have a one-sided Macrocosmos that can also rip a card out of your opponent's hand if they search. So honestly, A Hero Lives is absolutely insane. It's a really, really good card and mandatory 3-of. The card was at 1 at one point for a reason, because heroes can do a lot. So you play 3 of this card, it's mandatory at 3. Next, we play Free Fusion Destiny, another really powerful card and another starter card in the deck. This card is really, really strong, but I'll say at times you actually do want to hold it for later on. But what does it do? So essentially what this card is, it allows you to fusion summon 1 Destiny hero monster from your extra deck by using monsters from your hand or deck. So essentially you're going to be using stuff like Malicious and Denier to go in to destroy Phoenix Enforcer and make your combo plays from there. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you do open this card, don't just use it right away. Look at your hand, see what you have. If you can go down a combo line that doesn't need to start with this and can potentially need to make it Absolute Zero and Sunriser, do that before you do this, because if you activate this right away, you're locked into dark hero monsters. So you can't make your Absolute Zero, you can't make your Sunriser, you can't make anything but dark monsters. So you want to be careful how you use this at times, but nonetheless, it is a very strong card, and if you do have to shotgun it turn 1 because you don't have any other plays, it still has a lot of versatility to be used. Essentially, you can also go into turn 1 boards with this one card, being able to make DPE and stuff like Plasma and Darklaw on your first turn with just this card, being able to go into the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, Dangerous, even go into Dystopia to be able to have that time theory right there, to be able to burn your opponent when there's only a few seconds left on time. The card is very powerful, very strong, and it's just a really, really strong card, being able to just deal with a lot of things that your opponent may have. So honestly, being a free fusion is very, very strong and can come in clutch a lot of the times, but be careful when you use it, as I said. Next, we play Free Mask Change. This card's very basic. We go ahead and target our hero and then turn it into whatever attribute we targeted. So majority of the time it's going to be Darklaw, targeting your Shadow Mist or maybe a Vision hero. You go ahead and summon your Darklaw to have a one-sided Macrocosmos. Other times, you're going to target your absolute zero, so you can go ahead and destroy your opponent's entire board by summoning Acid and also triggering absolute zero's effect. Essentially, that's all this card is for, that's its main purpose, and it just guarantees that you can go ahead and make Dark Claw. You want to be able to get to Dark Claw as soon as possible, so we play 3 of it so we can hopefully open it, so we don't have to go through weird ways to get to the Dark Claw. Like, Dark Claw is one of the strongest cards in the game, and is just great against T elements. And then we play 2 End Shuffle, the newest card of the deck actually, which is actually a really, really powerful card as well. Essentially what this card does is, it shuffles 1 elemental hero monster you control into the deck, and special summons one with a different name. So essentially, what you want to do with this card is you want to normal summon Stratos, trigger its effect, search, and then use End Shuffle to be able to summon out your Shadow Mist from the deck. So if you open End Shuffle with a hero lives, you're essentially guaranteeing that you're going to get your hero lives to search Stratos, and then you're going to go ahead and use End Shuffle to go ahead and summon Shadow Mist, which will get your mask change. So it's just a new card that's very, very good for the deck, because you can also just do this by normal summoning Stratos, or if you open, like literally, if you open End Shuffle plus any elemental hero, it guarantees a Dark Claw, or at least guarantees that you're going to go full combo with Stratos. It is a very, very strong card, a very good card. It's not as good as stuff like Fusion Destiny and A Hero Lives, but just having the ability to summon Shadow Mist from the deck and giving the access to Mask Change a lot easier means that instead of just having 3 cards that can get you to Dark Claw now, you now have 5 cards that can get you to Dark Claw now. So just really strong card, and I'm really happy with how it goes so far. So yeah, let's continue on though, going on to the next spells. We're going to 1 equal, essentially consistency. We just play 1 of it. Another way to get to Stratos is essentially our 4th copy of Stratos, so I just wanted to play 1 of it. 1 reinforcement of the army, same thing, it's a 5th copy of Stratos, and can also go ahead and search other hero cards such as Denia, Vion, all of these other things. Going on to fusion spells though, we play 1 Polymerization. I did try out more than 1 copy, but I didn't really like playing more than 1. I felt like 1 was more than enough. I didn't really need it more after the times. We have ways to recycle it as well, so I didn't feel the need to play extra copies. So I'm only playing 1, and I'm very happy with it. I don't really need more. I don't feel like I need more. So it's just very good right now, the number that I've chosen. 1 Miracle Fusion, we search it off Sunriser. We only need the 1. We're never making anything majority of the time outside of Absolute Zero. Sometimes we can make the Shining, but we don't do that very often, and I'm happy with 1 of it as well. You don't need more than 1. It's just a very good card, and 1 is enough. And then the last spell in the main deck is actually 1 Called by the Grave. It's just Called by, it stops Ash, it stops Vela, it stops majority of hand traps in the game, so I wanted to play the 1, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, that's the ratios of spells, no issues with them whatsoever. This is just the perfect lineup for me right now. Like, things that I did try as well, I tried playing more End Shuffle, I tried playing more Emergency Call, I just tried a lot of different things, but I felt like this ratio of it was perfect, and I'm not really upset with it. I really like the ratio, I think it's a good ratio, and it really did help. It was good over the board, and there was no issues whatsoever with it. And then the last cards in the main deck are the hand traps. So this could really be your preference. Like, there's 8 spots for hand traps, so I chose to play these specific 8. But if you want to change things, go ahead, feel free. This is just my personal opinion. So starting off, we played 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. I play Ash at 2 because, yes, it's still one of the most powerful hand traps in the game, but it doesn't do a lot against Tyr. Like, against Tyr, I felt like this card didn't do much, so I chose to cut it to 2. But I felt like it was still necessary in the deck to deal with, like, rogue decks, to deal with branded, to deal with anything that just was good against. So I chose to play 2 of it. It was fine. I really like it at 2. It's not bad. I wouldn't play 1 of it ever, but 2 is enough. Plus, it's a hard once per turn already, so if we see multiple, it didn't really help us too much. And yeah, it was fine at 2. I'm happy with it at 2 right now. Could easily bump it up to 3, maybe cut the equal, but I'm just happy with it as it is, so we're playing 2 of it. Next, we play some Bestials, which to some people may conflict because obviously you can't use Cross Crusader if you play the Bestials, but it makes sense to play them overall, and I'll explain why. So we're playing the 2 Magna Hut, and we're playing 1 Juris Worm. The reason for this ratio is because obviously the Magna Hut can go ahead and search the Juris Worm, which is just really, really strong, giving you the ability to have multiple hand traps out of 1 hand trap. And 2, the reason why we're playing is technically we don't ever summon these on our own turn. This is for our opponent's turn when they're playing Tyr. We use these so we can go ahead and banish the Tyr element cards and have a big body for our turn, which essentially gives us additional damage in heroes. Now, heroes can do a ton of damage. They can do a lot. But if you don't have ways to kill your opponent, say you're like maybe 100 off, well, these cards can essentially guarantee game up times. Like, I don't always need to make the Cross Crusader to play the game, but you know what I always need? I always need damage. I need ways to kill my opponent because that's what heroes do. They run over your opponent, and this is just another way to do it. Before we go into the Forest combo, we can go ahead and use the Magna Hut. Before we go into the Cross Crusader or anything, we can use the Magna Hut. We can go ahead and use these just to gain an additional 1200 attack, while also getting rid of problems in our opponent's graveyard, dealing with Telements, dealing with Sprite cards. They try to summon off Elf. These hand traps are very, very strong. So we play 3 of them. I wouldn't say play more, just for the fact that they still do conflict with heroes, and Telements can still play on the opponent's turn, so you want to be kind of careful with that. But I'm happy with them at 3. They've been really useful, and having the additional damage at times is great. So honestly, great engine, great hand traps. I wouldn't cut these right now while Telement is still around, but maybe when Telement is gone, we'll get rid of these. But currently, we keep it as is. So yeah, we play 3 of those. And then finally, the last cards in the main deck is 3 Infinite Permanents. So many reasons why we play this at 3. 1, it doesn't trigger tactical talents. 2, it can target any monster, negate its effects. 3, it can negate a column. There are so many good things about Infinite Permanence right now that it is technically a better hand trap than Ash Blossom. Just because having the ability to just negate anything and not let tactical talents be usable is great. Like, I've been seeing so many lists that play tactical talents. I've been seeing so many decks that just have tactical talents there, saying that you can't do anything because if you do anything to me, I'm gonna activate this card, potentially steal your monster, rip a card out of your hand, draw cards. Like, I don't want to see that. And Infinite Permanence just says, yeah, I don't trigger that card. So honestly, it is an insanely good hand trap. I love this hand trap right now, and I'm playing further because of that. So it's just a really good card overall. But yeah, so that's the entire main deck. I honestly am very happy with the current main deck. I wouldn't change anything fully right now. Maybe cut the equal for a 3rd Ash Blossom. Maybe try a Dusted Gold again. Maybe put the 2nd increase in. But right now, the deck is great. I'm very happy with the main deck. But let's go ahead and go into the extra deck so you can see what heroes we're playing there. So for the extra deck, we're playing, starting off, 2 Cross Crusader. Mandatory 2 of, in my opinion. Like, honestly, having it for the first turn is great, and you need it for the first turn at times. But what you need it most of all is after turn 1 as well. Like, you need it for follow-up. So having the second one is always necessary, and I always make the second one if we go further than turn 1. So 2 is mandatory in heroes, I believe. Like, the card is insane. Summon a destined hero from the graveyard, tribute it, search any other hero. Card is great. It can summon back your DPE as well. It can summon back your Denier to put Mali back to give you more combo plays. Honestly, there is no reason why you shouldn't be playing this at 2 in the deck, and I really do like him. I've considered playing 3 as well at times, but I never really made the 3rd as much as I made the 2nd, so I didn't go down that route. But fully happy with 2. Really do think it's a great card. You need to play him at 2. But be careful, guys, because if you do summon a Bestial on the turn you play this card, you cannot use its effects, so just be careful with that, guys. Next, we play 1 Wonder Driver. It recycles your Polymerization, it recycles your Miracle Fusion, it recycles your Mask Change. The card is very, very strong. We only use him in specific turn 1 combos where we can go ahead and use Polymerization multiple times to end with DPE, Sunrise, Absolute Zero. But when it comes up, he's very strong, and he's also our only light target to make the Shining, so he's there for that as well. We play 1 Dread Decimator as well. This card is actually kind of funny at times because one of the things that this deck doesn't have a lot of is piercing damage. And when your opponent has 1 monster in defense and you're thinking, how do I kill through this 1 monster that has defense? You're just like, I'm going to make Dread Decimator have piercing damage, boost all of my other heroes that it points to, so I can go ahead and guarantee that you're dead. Now, I think this card is insane in the deck. I think this card is great in the deck. I would never cut this card because just having that ability to piercing damage my opponent is absolutely insane. So I play him at 1. I love him at 1. Wouldn't change it for the world. Now for actual fusion cards, our purple extra deck cards. We start off with 1 Masked Hero Blast, pretty much this is only here to just go ahead and decrease the opponent's attack, but also have ways to play around like Imperm and also play around Vela when our Stratos gets targeted. So if they go ahead and target our Stratos, we need that Stratos to resolve. We chain Mask Change, we make Blast, and it gives us an additional way to go ahead and deal with back row, floodgates, and it just gives us a lot of ways to deal with opponent's big monsters as well, because this card can half the attack of one monster your opponent controls when it's special summoned. So card is actually pretty decent, card is pretty good, and we play one of him just because he's the best way to dodge Imperm and Vela. So card is very useful at times. Next, we play 2 Darklaw. I don't have to explain Darklaw anymore. He's a one-sided Macrocosmos that can rip a card out of your opponent's hand when they add a card to their hand. So, card is insane. You play 2 of him at least, so we play 2 in the deck. And then the last masked hero we play is 1 Acid. When he's summoned, he goes ahead and destroys all spell and trap cards your opponent controls and decreases all monsters they control by 300 attack. So, card is just really strong, and it just essentially says, yeah, if you're playing a back row deck, I'm going to end on Absolute Zero and Acid, so that way you have no monsters at the end of your turn, and you also have no spell and trap cards at the end of your turn. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing that, so it's just really, really good to do that. Like, it's just a complete and total board wipe. For Elemental Hero Fusions, we play 1 Sunriser. Card is great, like he boosts all your hero monsters, well, all your monsters in general for each different attribute you control. He also goes ahead and searches Miracle Fusion, and when a hero monster battles other than himself, he can destroy a card on the field. Like, he's like the complete package in one. He only needs 2 hero monsters with different attributes to actually summon, so there's really no reason why you shouldn't play this card. Like, he's a very good card, he's a very strong card as well in heroes, and just having the ability to search Miracle Fusion, absolutely insane, because it means that you're guaranteed 2 really big bodies. 1 Absolute Zero. Favorite card in the game, he's a Raigeki on legs. When he dies, like, card is really, really strong, and the amount of times that I pair him with DPE, so I go ahead and pop a back row and then all of their monsters as well, like, that stuff is pretty strong, just having a Raigeki on your opponent's turn, and it really does come in clutch sometimes. So we play him, he's a very good card and a very strong card. 1 Elemental Hero, the Shining. I barely ever make him, but when he comes up, he is strong. What essentially he does is he gains 300 attack for each of your banished elemental heroes. When he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add 2 elemental heroes from your banished zone to your hand. So essentially he's a recyclability card, while also being a card that essentially just guarantees that you have a really big body. Like, he's not the most insane hero that you can play, but he is a one-of. We can only summon him with 1 driver, but I play him just for the fact that having that ability to just have the big body at times, having that small amount of extra damage can really come in clutch. So we do play 1 of him. I do like him as a one-of. You could play something else, maybe a Scuriado, because that guaranteed most of the time, but I like this at 1, so I play this at 1. 1 Destiny Hero, Dangerous. This is the other target for our Fusion Destiny. We make this, we really just want to guarantee Darklaw turn 1, and we have no other ways to do that. So you pretty much just make this instead of making your DPE. Go ahead and send a Malicious and a Shadow Mist to the graveyard. Don't use the Shadow Mist's effect, and then just go ahead later on in the combo, summon out your Liquid Soldier, and then summon Shadow Mist from the graveyard to guarantee you get Mask Change. That's pretty much the whole combo of Fusion Destiny. It's a very old one that I showcased on the channel, so maybe go check out some of the old hand testing videos to see that. 1 DPE. I don't think I need to explain why we play DPE. The card is absolutely insane. If it's destroyed, it summons a Destiny hero on the following turn, including himself. He is every turn a pop for both fields, so you go ahead and pop himself and 1 card your opponent controls. And he also goes ahead and decreases all of your opponent's monsters by 200 for each hero in your graveyard. So we're playing heroes. This card is going to decrease your opponent's monsters by a lot of attack. Majority of the time, I see decreases of about 1200 at least. So really no reason why we don't play DPE. He's really strong, really powerful, and just guarantees that we get that damage in. So yeah, we play 1 of him. He's very strong. Best hero card in the deck right now, just for the fact of he goes ahead and gives you a grind game. He go ahead and guarantees decrease in attack points, and he also go ahead and just revives other Destiny heroes. Like, there's been times where I just go ahead and revive Denia, use Denia to put Banny on top, and then I go ahead and summon another Mally to make Cross Crusader to summon back DPE. Like, it's just more damage, it's just more power, and it's more combo versatility in this deck as well. So it's just a really, really strong card. And then we play 1 Adoration. This is literally here just for the times we have to start off with DPE. Like, if we have to start with Fusion Destiny to make DPE, and then later on we go into a combo where we use the polymerization to OTK, this is here to guarantee that we can OTK. He is a dark hero fusion monster that just takes 2 heroes to make. That's all he is. That's his main reason for existing here. He's just another body to guarantee that we can play after we Fusion Destiny. That's it. And then the last hero in the extra deck, one Vision Hero Trinity. He can just kill your opponent out of nowhere. On Fusion Summon becomes a 5k beat stick and can attack 3 monsters per turn. So literally being able to just attack 3 times into 3 different monsters is great, and being a 5k beat stick guarantees that you can OTK your opponent. That's his whole existence. Only reason we play him. Very, very good card as well. So yeah, that is the extra deck. I'm happy with the extra deck. There are some things that you could potentially change, like the Shining could be an Escuriado or something, but I'm very happy with how I've been testing it and how it's been running. So you don't really need to change anything here. And then finally, just a little bonus, because obviously this deck did come second of locals. The side deck that we played for that locals is here as well, so I'm going to go ahead and showcase that. So starting off, we played 1 Dark Angel. This is just a one-sided Imperial Order. We put this in against any full-on spell decks and just have ways to deal with spells. Like, honestly, being able to go the route where you just go ahead and end on DPE with Dark Angel on your opponent's board is great, just because it means that they just can't play the game most of the time. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to win because of it. So we play him at 1. We play 1 Dystopia. He's here just for time of the round, so if we're going into time, I know I'm going to lose. I just scoop it up, go to side, put him in, and then just say, time on the round, main phase, go ahead, use Fusion Destiny, summon this, and burn the opponent to death. I know it's a bit scummy, but at times you do need to play towards time, so heroes have it, and we have to play the way to do it. Free draw on Lockbird. Obviously, the Dark World structure deck is out now. I don't want to see my opponent draw 1,000 cards, so I draw on Lockbird them and just sit there and be happy. 3 Lightning Storm and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for back row decks. Obvious reasons, it just deals with the back row. I don't want to see the back row, so we just have tons of ways to deal with it. 3 Dark Ruler No More for those combo decks out there. We may not be able to kill you, but we will build a board. We will break your board, and then you should have to break my board. So yeah, Dark Ruler No More is pretty strong. And then finally, 3 Evenly Matched. This is again is for back row decks, but this is also for big combo decks as well, where they just set up a ton of different monsters on the board. So we put this in with Dark Ruler No More, activate the Dark Ruler, activate the Evenly if we have it, and then just go ahead and clear their board and build our board up. Literally what this is for. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire deck, guys. Like, there's not really anything else I need to show you guys, because this is the entire deck. I'm very, very happy with my deck in general. Like, heroes are obviously my favorite deck in the game. I love heroes. I love them to death. I will never stop playing heroes. So, guys, I hope you did enjoy this deck profile. I've been putting a lot of work into this, trying a lot of different strategies, a lot of different ratios, and I finally came with this list, and I'm very happy with it. So, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're having a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone watching this around this time. Outside of that, I hope everybody watching this after is having a great day, having an amazing life, and yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and tell me all your thoughts of this deck profile in the comment section below, and maybe ratios you will try, change, and everything along those lines. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Robot1, signing out. Later on.